Hi, I'm Spiritual Sojourns. Welcome to Spiritual Authority. I cried on day 4. Not because something bad happened, because something true did. On day 11, I almost stopped. I told myself I was fine. I told myself I didn't need to keep digging. But looking back, that was the shadow talking. And by day 30, I looked back at the person who started this challenge, and I genuinely didn't recognize her. This is what 30 days of shadow work actually looks like. Not the polished version, not the Instagram version, the real one. So if you've ever felt like something inside you keeps getting in your own way, this video is for you. Stay with me. Let's begin. Before I get into what happened week by week, let me tell you why I did this. I've talked about shadow work before, I've referenced it, I've respected it, but I had never fully committed to sitting with myself every single day and doing the actual work. And I wanted to know something very honestly. Does this really change you in real life? Not in theory, not in a quote, not in a caption, in real life. Because there were patterns in me that kept showing up, certain emotional triggers, certain reactions, certain wounds, certain stories I kept telling myself without even realizing I was still living inside them. So I made a decision. For 30 days, I was going to stop performing healing and start practicing it. And I'm breaking this down by week because each week felt completely different. Week 1 was the hardest, not because I didn't know what shadow work was, but because actually doing it every day meant I could no longer hide from myself. The first few days felt uncomfortable almost immediately. The journaling felt raw. The mirror work felt exposing. Even being honest with myself felt harder than I expected. And I think that's the part people don't talk about enough. The discomfort you feel at the beginning, that is the shadow. That resistance, that irritation, that urge to distract yourself, avoid it, delay it, or call it too much, that is the work beginning. There was a moment in week 1 when I wanted to stop. Not because I didn't believe in the process, but because I could already feel it, pulling things to the surface that I had gotten very good at managing, naming, spiritualizing, and moving around, without fully healing. And that surprised me, because I realized I had learned how to talk about healing in a way that still allowed me to stay protected from it, and week 1 shattered that. If the process was making me uncomfortable, that didn't mean it was failing. It meant it was finding something real. And once I understood that, I stopped asking, why does this feel so hard? And started asking, what is this trying to show me? Week 2 was different. Week 1 felt like resistance. Week 2 felt like unraveling. This is where things started coming up that were deeper than the surface level patterns. Old memories, old emotional habits, old reactions that didn't begin where I thought they did. And that's one of the most humbling parts of shadow work. You think you're dealing with today, and suddenly you realize you're standing in something much older. For me, this looked like noticing how quickly certain emotions rose in my body before I even had time to think. Not because the present moment was that dangerous, but because some part of me had already learned to brace. And once I saw that, I couldn't unsee it. So I started slowing down. I journaled differently. I gave myself more space after emotional triggers. I stopped rushing to explain my feelings away. I sat with them longer, and that's when something shifted. Shadow work doesn't just change how you feel, it changes how you react. And that's when people around you start noticing. Because when you stop reacting from the wound, your relationships start changing, your boundaries start changing, your energy starts changing. That's what week 2 felt like, not just pain, recognition. Before I get into week 3, which is honestly where everything shifted for me, if this is resonating with you, subscribe. This channel is for people who are serious about inner work, real healing, and spiritual growth that actually changes your life. Okay, week 3. Week 3 changed everything. This was the point where shadow work stopped feeling like a practice and started feeling like a mirror. Something clicked for me in this week. It wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic, it was quiet, but it was deep. I saw something in myself that I had never fully named before. Not just what I was doing, but why I kept doing it. Why certain wounds stayed sensitive. Why certain patterns repeated. Why some parts of me still felt stuck in places I thought I had already outgrown. And what hit me hardest was this. The shadow isn't your enemy. It's the part of you that has been waiting the longest to be seen. That realization changed the entire tone of the work for me. Because once I stopped treating my shadow like something shameful, broken, or inconvenient, I could finally meet it with honesty. And that was the turning point. Not self-attack, not self-fixing, self-recognition. For me, week 3 connected dots between who I am now and patterns that had roots in older versions of me, childhood responses, survival habits, old relational pain. And when you can finally see the root, you stop wasting so much energy trying to trim the branches. Week 4 felt quieter, but not smaller. It felt like integration. And integration is strange because it does not always look dramatic from the outside. Sometimes it looks like pausing before reacting, choosing differently, saying less, not abandoning yourself in the same old moment, feeling a trigger arise and not letting it run your life. By day 30, what changed most was not that I had become some brand new person overnight. It was that I became more aware of myself in real time. My self-talk shifted. My emotional reactions softened. Certain patterns lost their grip. And I started feeling more honest with myself instead of more polished. That mattered. Because real healing is not about becoming performatively enlightened. It is about becoming more integrated. And if I were to do this again, I would probably begin with even more compassion, more patience, and less pressure to do it right. Because integration is not a finish line, it's the beginning of a different way of living. So if I had to tell you what 30 days of shadow work really taught me, it would be these 3 things. Your shadows are patterns, not personality flaws. A lot of what we shame in ourselves is actually unhealed patterning, old protection, or survival logic that never got updated. The work is uncomfortable because it's real. If it feels confronting, that does not automatically mean it's wrong. Sometimes discomfort is proof that you finally touched the truth. And the biggest one, you don't heal by fixing yourself. You heal by meeting yourself. That one changed me the most because healing stopped feeling like a performance the moment I realized I was not here to become more acceptable. I was here to become more whole. So if you've been thinking about starting your own shadow work practice, this is your sign. Not to do it perfectly, not to rush it, not to make it look beautiful, but to begin. And I want you to drop a comment below. What is the one thing you keep running from in yourself? Name it, because that might be your day 1. I'll see you in the next one. Always remember, keep elevating.